Imagine a Star Trek episode so bad, so fundamentally flawed, that it's become a legendary punchline among fans. We're talking about Threshold from Star Trek Voyager, an episode that dares to ask the question, what happens when you break the ultimate speed barrier? And the answer, according to this infamous installment, involves salamanders. Yes, you read that right. The premise starts promisingly enough. Stranded light years from home, the crew of the USS Voyager stumbles upon a rare crystal with the potential to push their ship beyond Warp 10, the theoretical limit of infinite velocity in Star Trek lore. Warp 10, in essence, means being everywhere in the universe at once. For a ship facing a decades-long journey back to Earth, the temptation is immense. To test this potentially game-changing technology, Tom Paris, Voyager's resident hotshot pilot, played by Robert Duncan McNeil, takes a specially equipped shuttlecraft for a spin. He succeeds in breaking the Warp 10 barrier, returning with a mind overflowing with cosmic knowledge. But here's where it's controversial. Things start to get weird. Really weird. Paris's body undergoes a rapid and disturbing transformation. His skin starts to peel. His eyes become glazed. His fingers fuse together, and he even spits out his own tongue. The body horror elements here are undeniable, bringing to mind the gruesome transformations seen in David Cronenberg's film The Fly. But the weirdness doesn't stop there. Paris is undergoing hyperevolution, supposedly transforming into a future iteration of humanity. Still vaguely humanoid, he kidnaps Captain Janeway, played by Kate Mulgrew, and forces her on another Warp 10 flight, subjecting her to the same bizarre evolutionary process. And this is the part most people miss. It's not just about the gross-out factor, but also the violation of Janeway's agency. Was this plot point handled sensitively enough? The climax of Threshold reveals humanity's supposed evolutionary destiny, 3-foot-tall pink salamanders. As salamanders, Paris and Janeway, well, they mate, producing 3 little salamander offspring. Thankfully, they are eventually rescued and transformed back into humans, sparing us a Voyager spin-off featuring amphibian adventures. The episode is widely ridiculed for its sheer absurdity and its flagrant disregard for scientific accuracy. Let's face it, the idea that exceeding a speed limit would turn you into a lizard is a bit of a stretch, even by Star Trek standards. Brannon Braga, the Voyager showrunner who also wrote Threshold, doesn't quite share the universal disdain for the episode. Speaking at the STLV Star Trek convention in Las Vegas, Braga is well aware of the episode's terrible reputation. He has acknowledged the challenges of producing a high volume of episodes, 26 per season, and admitted that Threshold was a product of those creative constraints. However, he also confessed a liking for the episode's body horror elements. Well, clearly given Threshold, there were no rejected ideas. We left nothing on the table. At least the first half of that show isn't bad, Braga stated. Interestingly, Braga had previously described the episode in much harsher terms on the Voyager DVDs, calling it a terrible episode and a royal steaming stinker. He lamented that despite writing over 100 episodes of Star Trek, Threshold is the one that always comes up in conversation. While Braga hasn't completely reversed his opinion on Threshold, he seems to be acknowledging its redeeming qualities, or at least its less offensive aspects. And in the grand scheme of Star Trek, Threshold might not be the absolute worst. Episodes like The Alternative Factor from the original series, or even some of the more questionable outings from The Next Generation, could arguably be considered more egregious offenses. Threshold is, at the very least, memorable. And is it really worse than Code of Honor? That's a debate for another time. So what do you think? Is Threshold a misunderstood masterpiece, or a truly terrible episode that deserves its bad reputation? Is Braga right to defend the first half? And does the body horror aspect redeem it in any way? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.